Hello dear students, welcome to another session of Human Resource Management. In this session, we will be discussing about training and development. First of all, starting with what is training. Training is a specialized function of human resource management. Every organization needs to have a well-defined training program and trained people to perform this activity. It is true in many organizations that before an employee is fitted into an harmonious working relationship with other employees, he is given adequate training. Training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for performing a particular job. A trainee learns new habits, refines skills, and useful knowledge during the training that helps him to improve his performance. It is a systematic procedure for transferring technical know-how to the employees. According to Edwin B. Flippo, training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing a particular job. As we already discussed above, that training is an art where an employee is imparted with a special knowledge and skills which helps him or her to perform a particular job more effectively. Another definition by Dale S. Beach: the organized procedure by which people learn knowledge and skill for a defined purpose. Thus, training refers to the teaching and learning activities directing at helping employees to acquire and learn the knowledge, skills, abilities, and attitudes needed by a particular job and organization. Next, characteristics or nature of training. Training is an act of increasing the knowledge, skills of an employee for doing a particular job. Training is a continuous process. Training involves changing of skills, knowledge, attitude, or social behavior. Training is a learning process and experience. It seeks relatively permanent change in an individual that will help him to improve. Training is an aid to self-development. Training is an essential part of management development. Training focuses attention on the current job, and it is a job specific and addresses particular performance defeats or problem. Training also concentrates on individual employees. And the last is training complements selection. If well qualified candidates are selected, there will be less need of training inside the organization. Next, systematic approach to training. Now, what is systematic approach to training? Systematic approach to training is an approach that provides a logical progression from identification of the task required to perform a job to implementation and evaluation of a training program. A systematic approach of training is divided into three phases, that is, need assessment, implementation of the program, and the evaluation. Why it is important? Because it is a logical process for successful implementation of a training program. As the name suggests, systematic approach means whenever we are trying to introduce a training program in the organization, it should be based on this systematic approach so that our training program is effective and is as per the requirement of the organization. Another importance is it helps to communicate with others who are not learning or who are not specialists. And another, it acquires mastery over the person whom we want to give a specialized training, and it can address technical competencies. Now, when we are trying to give a training related to a skill or a competency, we are more aware about the person to whom the training has to be given. Therefore, a systematic approach helps in successful implementation of a training program. The training program is divided into three steps: assessment of training, second, implementation of the training program, and third, the most important, that is the evaluation of a training program. Step 1, that is training need assessment. Now, training efforts must aim at meeting the requirement of the organization and the individual employees. The goal of assessment phase is to collect information to determine if training is needed in the organization. And if it is needed, then it is important to determine where in the organization it is needed and what kind of training is needed, what specific knowledge, skill, ability should be taught. Therefore, we can conclude that training need assessment is short where, what kind and what specific knowledge should be given. The training assessment should answer these questions: what, where, whom and how the training should be given. Now, this need assessment can be done by analyzing at 3 levels, that is organizational level, task level and personal level. Organizational level involves a study of entire organization, its objectives and its integration pattern with the environment. After analyzing the organization, the next is the task or the role analysis. It is the detailed examination of a job, its competence, its various operations and conditions under which it has to be performed. And last, that is the personal analysis. Personal analysis or an employee analysis where the focus is on individual in a given job. That is, who all persons are not competent or does not possess those skills will be given further training. After analyzing the questions what, when, where, how the training is to be given, the next is the implementation phase. The implementation phase is related to selecting the training method, like on the job or off the job, which method will be best suitable depending upon the type of training to be given, conducting the training program, and third, arranging the physical environment. Arranging the physical environment means after defining the training method, that whether it is on the job or off the job and who all will be giving the training, the arrangement should be made so that the training is effective. Then the third step is evaluation of a training program. The evaluation of a training program is the most important one because the goal of evaluation phase is to examine whether the training program has been effective in meeting the stated objectives or not. In evaluation, we find out the success of the training program which is being given. And the basis of evaluation and the mode of collection of information is necessary because this defines the planning phase. As we say, a well-planned thing is half done. Now, when we are starting to evaluate the training program, the first step is the reaction. The trainee's reaction to the overall usefulness of the training program, including the coverage of the topic, the way the training is being imparted, and the output of the training program which the trainee thinks. Now, the potential questions which could be asked could be: what were your learning goals from the program? Did you achieve them? Did you like the training program? Would you recommend it to others who have similar learning goals? What suggestions do you have for improving the program? And should the organization continue to offer it or not? After the reaction, the next could be the learning. The training program, the trainer's ability and trainee's ability are evaluated on the basis of quantity of content learned and time in which it is learned, and learner's ability to use or apply the content the person has learned in the training session. And when the person has learned something, the third which helps in evaluating is the job behavior. This evaluation includes the manner and extent to which the trainee has applied his learning to the job, which will automatically come in the way the person is doing the job. Then is the organization. This evaluation measures the use of training, learning and change in the job behavior of the department or organization in the form of increased productivity, quality, morale, sales turnover and an overall output to the organization. And when the organization is benefited, the last is the ultimate value. It is the measurement of the ultimate result of the contribution of the training program to the company's goal like survival, growth, profitability, etc., and to the individual goals like development of personality and social goals like maximizing social benefits. This will help us to know how successful the training program was for the organization as well as for the employees for whom the training program was to be conducted. This was the systematic evaluation of a training program. Now the next which comes is the area of training. The area of training in which training is offered is classified into three. knowledge skills, technical skills, and social skills. In knowledge skills, the trainee learns about a set of rules and regulations about the job, the staff, the product or services offered by the organization. The aim is to know and make the employee fully aware of what goes on inside and outside the organization. Then the technical skills. The employee is taught a specific skill like, for example, operating a machine, handling a computer, or the way the work is to be done, so that he can acquire that skill and contribute meaningfully. And the last is the social skills. The employee is made to learn about himself or others and to develop a right mental attitude towards the job, colleagues, and the company. The principal focus is on teaching the employee how to be a team member and get ahead. These were the areas of training. Now coming towards the methods of training. As we have already studied above, in the phases of systematic approach to training, the selection of the appropriate training method. The training method can be divided into two parts, that is on the job method and off the job method. First, we will be studying about on the job methods. The on the job method is provided when the workers are taught relevant knowledge, skill, and abilities to the actual workplace. In on the job method, there are several other methods as well. The most common are the job rotation. In this method, the job of an individual employee is rotated, maintaining the profile so that he has the experience of working in different departments. Then coaching. Coaching is a kind of daily training and feedback given to employees by immediate supervisor. It involves a continuous process of learning by doing. It may be defined as an informal, unplanned training and development activity provided by the supervisor and peers. In coaching, the supervisor explains things and answers questions. He throws light on why things are done the way they are done. It offers a model for training to copy. It conducts lots of decision-making meetings with training, procedures are agreed upon, and the trainee is given enough authority to make decisions and even commit mistakes. Then the next is job instruction. Job instruction training method is a 4-step instructional process involving preparation, presentation, performance, and follow-up. It is used primarily to teach workers how to do their current job. A trainer, a supervisor, or a co-worker act as a coach, and the steps are being followed. The first step is the trainee receives an overview of the job, its purpose, and its desired outcome. The second, the trainer demonstrates the job in order to give the employee a model to copy. Third step is the employee is permitted to copy how the trainer is doing. And finally, the fourth step, the employee does the job independently without supervisor. Therefore, the job is being instructed to do in a correct manner. Then comes the committee assignments. Committee assignment, in this method, the trainees are asked to solve an actual organizational problem. The trainee has to work together and offer solution to the problem. Assigning talented employees to important committees can give these employees a broadening experience and can help them to understand the personalities, the issues, and processes governing the organization. This method helps the trainee to develop team spirit and work with unity towards common goals. Therefore, on-the-job methods may cause sometimes disruption in production schedule. The workers' experience cannot be used in facilitating the proper use of training. Sometimes the learners are poor, which may damage the machinery. Finally, if the trainer does not possess his teaching skills, there is no benefit to the training. Therefore, on-the-job methods have some limitations as well. But there are certain advantages of on-the-job methods, like the time of the employee is not wasted. The employee or the trainee has the proper knowledge of doing the work at the actual place. Therefore, everything has a pro and a cons, and so is the on-the-job training method. Now, the next is off-the-job training method. Under this method of training, the trainee is separated from the job situation and his attention is focused upon learning the material related to his future job performance. The trainee is not distracted by the job requirements. He can focus his entire concentration on the learning. There is an opportunity for freedom of expression for the trainee. Now there are several methods being classified of off-the-job method. Some of the most common are the vestibule training. The vestibule training, actual work conditions are stimulated in a classroom. A artificial situation is being created of the actual workplace and the employees are asked to work in that situation. Next, role playing. It is defined as the method of human interaction that involve realistic behavior in imaginary situation. This method of training involves action, doing and practice. The participants play the role of certain characters such as the production manager, the mechanical engineer, the superintendent, maintenance engineer, quality control inspector, etc. This method is mostly used for developing interpersonal interactions and relations. Next is the lecture method. The lecture is a traditional and direct method of instruction. The instructor organizes the material and gives it to group of trainees in the form of a talk. To be effective, the lecture must motivate and create an interest among the trainee. An advantage of lecture method is that it is direct and can be used for a larger group of trainees. Thus, cost and time involved are reduced. The major limitation of this lecture method is that it does not provide for transfer of training most effectively. And the last is the video conferencing. In this method, the trainee delivers a lecture through a video and a conference is being conducted, which helps an individual or a trainee to understand a particular problem or on a particular topic. There are various other methods also which are included in both on the job and off the job methods. But that's all for the today's session. Thank you.